Have you ever experienced the narcissist discard? Are you still dealing with the devastating effects left from the experience? It can leave you feeling confused, abandoned, and worthless. If you have, just know that it was never about your worth or who you are as a person. Nobody will ever be enough for the narcissist, and the discard phase of the toxic relationship can be a true blessing, a simpler way out of the relationship with the narcissist. Narcissists only see people as supply, tools, or objects that can be manipulated into giving them what they want. Whether that is validation, attention, adoration, material gains, financial gain, or a rise in status. Anything that boosts their image or validates their false, fragile ego. But narcissistic supply from one person will never be enough, and the discard phase in the relationship can mean that the narcissist has found more supply elsewhere. Relationships with narcissists often follow a predictable pattern: idealization, devaluation, then the discard. While the initial stages might feel exhilarating and deeply validating during idealization, the discard phase can be extremely devastating. Understanding the dynamics of the narcissist discard, its psychological impact, and strategies for recovery is important for anyone who finds themselves entangled with a narcissistic partner, friend, or family member. By understanding the narcissist's behaviors, we can lessen the impact their discard. The discard phase is the final step in the narcissistic abuse cycle, where the narcissist abruptly ends the relationship, often in a cruel or indifferent manner. This phase is characterized by a sudden withdrawal of attention, affection, and communication, often leaving you feeling disorientated, rejected, with a shattered self-esteem. Narcissists discard their victims for several reasons, all related to their need for control, validation, and self-preservation. Because they thrive on attention, admiration, and validation, when their current source of supply no longer meets their needs or challenges their inflated self-image, this is when they often discard us. They can see us as useless, no longer meeting their needs and becoming a threat that can expose their true nature. The narcissist may use discarding to protect their self-image or avoid vulnerability. Narcissists would rather live in their delusions than to accept truths, whilst expecting those around them to go along with the false narratives they have created about themselves. When you challenge their delusions, it threatens their false ego. Discarding can then be a self-defensive mechanism for self-preservation, as they do not want to face the truth or take accountability. But it can also serve as a form of punishment. When you challenge the narcissist, set boundaries, or no longer feed their ego, the narcissist may discard you as a way to assert control or dominance in the relationship and to deliberately inflict pain. Narcissists often line up new sources of supply before discarding the old one. The excitement of a new relationship and the prospect of fresh validation drive them to move on without regard for their current victim's feelings. Because they have no empathy for others and never went into the relationship with you for love, it is easy for them to discard you as if you were a piece of trash. The narcissist does not love. They do not know how to love. They don't enter relationships with real emotions like most of us do. That's why we are left devastated during discard, whilst they appear to move on heartlessly. Narcissists enter relationships for supply. They take what they want through manipulation, then they move on. Everything good that they appear to have done is transactional and will often be used against us. The beginning of the relationship was not love like we thought it was. It was simply manipulation. It was the love-bombing phase that is the typical pattern of the beginning of a relationship with a narcissist. The abrupt coldness of the discard can leave us in a state of emotional turmoil. We may experience feelings of shock, betrayal, or abandonment. The sudden loss of what once seemed like a perfect relationship can lead to intense grief and confusion. We can often internalize the narcissist's rejection, believing that we are to blame for the discard. This can result in a significant drop in self-worth. Our confidence feels diminished. Our soul is left broken. The The constant devaluation and manipulation throughout the relationship compound these feelings, leaving us to doubt our value or the ability to be loved. This cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard creates a trauma bond, a deep emotional attachment formed through repeated patterns of abuse and intermittent reinforcement. Trauma bond can make it incredibly difficult for us to move on from the narcissist, even after being discarded. The prolonged psychological abuse can lead to symptoms of PTSD, including flashbacks, nightmares, hypervigilance, and severe anxiety. Victims may relive the trauma of the relationship and the discard, struggling to find a sense of safety or stability. The first step in healing from a narcissist discard is accepting the reality of the situation along with understanding the nature of narcissistic abuse. We must recognize that the discard is a reflection of the narcissist's way of being, not because of our worth. You deserve more than to be manipulated and used as supply in the narcissist's delusional, self-absorbed world. Going no contact with the narcissist will help you heal from your experiences. It can protect your peace, stopping the narcissist from exploiting you further. Because when their supply runs dry elsewhere, they will likely return, attempting the Hoover tactic on you to begin the toxic relationship cycle with them all over again. Consider therapy to help you process the trauma you endured. Support groups or online communities can also help to rebuild your self-esteem and develop healthy coping mechanisms. Be sure to surround yourself with supporting friends or family, those that are willing to understand what you have been through. It is important to focus on self-care to rebuild a sense of purpose or identity. Engage in therapeutic activities that make you feel at peace. Meditation or journaling can help tremendously. Recovering from a narcissist discard can be challenging, but by understanding the discard phase in the narcissistic abuse cycle, you can reclaim your power and take back control of your life. If you enjoyed this video and it was helpful to you in any way, please support us by liking this video, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. This will also help the YouTube algorithm to spread these videos out to more people. By sharing this content, together we can help others. Thank you.